The world holds moments that feel almost otherworldly, experiences that seem to exist just beyond the edge of reality. Imagine standing in the quiet heart of a frozen landscape, where the air itself seems to shimmer with anticipation. The night sky stretches endlessly above, a canvas of inky black, pierced by the distant glimmer of stars. Then, without warning, it begins. A soft glow, subtle at first, brushing the horizon with hints of green and violet. Slowly it grows, sweeping across the heavens in waves of color that dance and twist as if the sky itself were alive. This is the Aurora Borealis, commonly known as the Northern Lights, a natural phenomenon so breathtaking that it has inspired awe, wonder, and reverence for centuries. But beyond its beauty lies a story of science, history, and human curiosity, a tale that connects the Earth to the far reaches of our solar system, to the magnetic rhythms of our planet, and to the explorers and scientists who have dedicated their lives to understanding it. Long before modern instruments and satellites, the Northern Lights were a source of myth and mystery. Indigenous peoples of the Arctic wove stories into the lights' movements, interpreting the glowing ribbons as spirits dancing across the sky, omens of change, or messages from the beyond. The Sami of northern Scandinavia believed the lights were energies of the dead, deserving respect and caution, while the Inuit of Canada saw them as playful spirits, guiding hunters across the frozen tundra. For generations, the lights were a bridge between human imagination and the forces of nature, a phenomenon simultaneously feared, revered, and celebrated. It wasn't until the scientific age, in the 17th and 18th centuries, that scholars began to seek rational explanations. Explorers like Galileo and Christian Birkeland observed, documented, and hypothesized, paving the way for centuries of discovery. Birkeland, in particular, was fascinated by the lights, conducting experiments with magnets and electric currents, suggesting that the aurora was caused by charged particles from the sun interacting with Earth's magnetic field. His work, though controversial at the time, laid the foundation for our modern understanding, revealing that these shimmering curtains of light were not supernatural, but the product of a cosmic conversation between our sun and our planet. The story of the aurora is as much about space as it is about Earth. Every northern light display begins far beyond our atmosphere, where the sun hurls charged particles across the solar system in the form of solar wind. When these particles reach Earth, they encounter our magnetic field, which guides them toward the polar regions. Colliding with molecules in the upper atmosphere, these particles excite the gases, mainly oxygen and nitrogen, creating the vivid greens, pinks, purples, and reds that sweep across the sky. Scientists measure these interactions with instruments on satellites, studying the intricate dance between solar activity and terrestrial response. It is a delicate balance, a celestial choreography that can only occur under specific conditions, making every auroral display unique, fleeting, and unpredictable. Traveling to witness the Northern Lights is a journey in itself. From the remote fjords of Norway to the icy expanses of Alaska, from the tundras of northern Canada to the sparsely populated reaches of Finland and Sweden, adventurers and photographers alike seek the perfect vantage point. It is a pilgrimage of patience and persistence. Nights are long, temperatures can drop to unimaginable lows, and the skies may remain stubbornly blank for days. Yet when the aurora finally awakens, all hardships melt into insignificance. Travelers describe the feeling of standing beneath the lights as almost spiritual, a reminder of our smallness in the face of the universe, yet a profound connection to the natural world. In the pursuit of understanding the Northern Lights, both scientists and storytellers have contributed pieces to the larger puzzle. Ground-based observatories track geomagnetic activity, satellites monitor solar emissions, and cameras freeze ephemeral moments in time. Each observation deepens our appreciation, revealing subtle patterns and rhythms, showing how the lights can herald solar storms or reflect changes in the Earth's magnetosphere. These findings are more than academic. They remind us of our planet's vulnerability and resilience, the intricate systems that allow life to flourish, and the cosmic forces that are always at play just beyond our perception. Yet despite all we know, the aurora retains its sense of mystery. No photograph, no video, no description can fully capture the scale, the depth, or the subtle nuances of light as it moves across the night sky. There is an emotional quality to the experience, a quiet sense of awe that transcends scientific explanation. Each wave, each ribbon, each flicker is a fleeting performance, ephemeral and unique, a reminder that nature's most extraordinary spectacles cannot be owned or tamed. They can only be witnessed, felt, and remembered. The journey of understanding the northern lights is a journey of connection, between humans and nature, between the earth and the sun, between centuries of knowledge and the mysteries that remain. It is a story of observation and wonder, of discovery and humility, a narrative that stretches from ancient myths to modern science, from isolated Arctic villages to high-tech laboratories. And as our understanding grows, so too does our admiration for a phenomenon that, for millennia, has inspired dreams, guided travelers, and illuminated the darkest skies with its ethereal glow. In this journey, we will explore not only the science behind the lights, but also the people whose lives have been touched by them. We will hear from scientists who chase auroras across continents, photographers who risk frostbite for the perfect shot, and indigenous elders who have preserved the stories of the lights for generations. Together, their voices form a tapestry as rich and vibrant as the aurora itself, a tapestry that blends history, culture, adventure, and discovery into a story that is as much about humanity as it is about the cosmos. As night falls across the northern landscapes, as the wind whispers across frozen lakes and snow-covered forests, and as the sky begins to glow with its first hints of green and violet, we are reminded that some experiences transcend words. They are moments of wonder, of awe, of deep, unspoken connection. And for those who seek them, the Northern Lights offer a journey unlike any other, a journey that is scientific, spiritual, and profoundly human. This is the beginning of that journey, an invitation to witness, to learn, and to be amazed. It is a story of light in the darkness, of science and myth intertwined, and of the unending human desire to explore and understand the natural world. Tonight, we step into the Arctic night, under a sky that has inspired humanity for centuries, and we follow the lights, silent, glowing, and impossibly beautiful, across the heavens. As the northern lights shimmer across the polar sky, they reveal a story that stretches far beyond the frozen landscapes beneath them. To truly understand the aurora, we must look beyond Earth itself, to the sun, the colossal, ever-burning heart of our solar system. Every flare, every coronal mass ejection, every burst of charged particles sent hurtling into space contributes to the spectacle above our heads. These solar winds, invisible and relentless, race toward our planet at hundreds of miles per second, and when they collide with Earth's magnetic field, the skis ignite. It is a dance of energy, a cosmic dialogue between sun and earth that has been ongoing for billions of years. The science of auroras, though now precise, was once a subject of speculation, curiosity, and daring exploration. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, Norwegian scientist Christian Berkelen conducted experiments that would forever change our understanding. He recreated the aurora in his laboratory using magnets and cathode rays, showing that charged particles from the sun, guided by Earth's magnetic field, could indeed produce the dazzling lights observed in the polar skis. Berkelen's work, often dismissed by his contemporaries, was revolutionary, an early bridge between imagination and empirical evidence. Today, his legacy endures in every aurora research station, satellite, and solar observation. But the northern lights are more than just a physical phenomenon. They are a historical beacon, a guide to the explorers who first charted the Arctic wilderness. In the 18th century, European expeditions braved frozen seas and treacherous terrain, drawn by the promise of discovery, trade, and the mysterious glow that lit the polar night. The lights, as often described in expedition journals, were both a source of wonder and a marker of location, a natural compass in the uncharted Arctic expanses. Captain James Cook and his contemporaries chronicled the auroras with meticulous sketches, blending empirical observation with a poetic appreciation for their fleeting beauty. These accounts reveal a human fascination that transcends geography and culture, connecting scientists, adventurers, and indigenous communities across centuries. Scientific inquiry today combines traditional observation with cutting-edge technology. Satellites orbit the planet, measuring charged particles, magnetic fields, and atmospheric composition. Ground-based observatories track auroral intensity, creating real-time maps of the northern lights that allow researchers, and increasingly, travelers, to predict where and when the spectacle will appear. But even with all this technology, the aurora retains an element of unpredictability, reminding us that nature is never entirely tamed. No algorithm can fully capture the fluid, dynamic dance of light as it ripples across the sky, responding to forces far beyond our control. The aurora's colors are not random. Greens, the most common hue, are caused by oxygen molecules located around 60 miles above Earth colliding with charged particles. Reds, often seen at higher altitudes, occur when oxygen interacts at levels above 150 miles. Nitrogen produces purples and blues, adding depth and variety to the light show. Each collision is a tiny explosion of energy, a molecular symphony that plays out on a cosmic stage. Observing this process in real time can be a humbling experience, an invisible storm of physics made visible, alive, and breathtakingly beautiful. Human fascination with the northern lights has not been limited to science alone. Artists, writers, and photographers have long sought to capture their magic, translating fleeting brilliance into enduring works. In the 19th century, painters struggled to represent the aurora's motion, its ethereal textures, and subtle color gradients. Today, photographers chase auroras across continents, enduring freezing nights and remote wildernesses, often sharing stories that blend adventure, patience, and the profound emotional impact of standing beneath the lights. One photographer described the experience as feeling simultaneously infinitesimal and infinite, a paradox only the aurora seems capable of producing. Indigenous knowledge provides a complementary perspective, reminding us that understanding is not only derived from instruments or satellites. The Sami, Inuit, and other Arctic peoples have observed the aurora for millennia, embedding these observations into oral histories, traditions, and rituals. Some believe the lights could predict weather, influence hunting outcomes, or signal spiritual events. This wisdom, passed from one generation to the next, often aligns in subtle ways with modern science. For example, their observations of auroral intensity and timing correlate with solar cycles, geomagnetic storms, and atmospheric conditions, revealing an empirical knowledge grounded in centuries of close interaction with the natural world. Traveling to witness the Northern Lights remains a modern form of pilgrimage. Tourists from around the globe journey to northern Norway, Alaska, Iceland, Canada, and Finland, seeking that elusive glimpse of the sky ablaze with color. Local guides often emphasize patience and presence, teaching visitors that the aurora cannot be rushed or coerced. It must be observed with respect and humility. The experience transforms ordinary nights into extraordinary memories. Families gather on frozen lakes, friends share quiet all beneath tented skis, and scientists record data while simultaneously pausing to take in the ephemeral artistry of the heavens. Each display is different, shaped by solar activity, geomagnetic fluctuations, and atmospheric conditions, creating a unique performance that will never repeat in exactly the same way. The Northern Lights also serve as a living laboratory, revealing insights into climate, space weather, and the Earth's magnetic environment. Geomagnetic storms, indicated by particularly intense auroras, can disrupt satellite communications, power grids, and navigation systems. By studying the aurora, scientists can better predict these storms, protecting technology that modern society depends on. At the same time, these observations provide a window into planetary systems across the universe. Auroras are not unique to Earth. Jupiter, Saturn, and even some exoplanets exhibit similar phenomena. Understanding them here enhances our comprehension of the cosmos, linking our small, blue planet to the vast reaches of space. Amid the science and exploration, the northern lights remain deeply personal. For many, witnessing the aurora is a transformative experience, an encounter that blends wonder, humility, and reflection. People speak of moments when time seems to stop, when the pressures of daily life fade, and when the sheer magnitude of the universe becomes palpable. Children gaze upward with unfiltered awe, photographers hold their breath, and scientists pause mid-calculation, humbled by the natural theater above. It is a reminder that, even in an age dominated by technology and data, there are phenomena that transcend measurement, that speak to the heart as much as the mind. In this second chapter of our journey, we see the northern lights as both a scientific marvel and a human story. They are a testament to curiosity, perseverance, and the enduring quest to understand our world. From the fiery eruptions of the sun to the magnetic whispers of Earth, from ancient oral traditions to modern satellite arrays, the aurora bridges time and space, linking myth, observation, and discovery in a single, luminous arc. And as we continue northward, deeper into the Arctic night, the lights guide us, not only across frozen landscapes but into the heart of what it means to witness something larger than ourselves, something at once predictable and mysterious, ancient and ever new. As we move further into the Arctic night, the northern lights continue their silent, luminous performance. By now, we have traced their journey from the distant sun, across the invisible currents of space, into the magnetic embrace of our planet. We have listened to the voices of scientists and explorers, traced the wisdom of indigenous peoples, and witnessed the awe of those who travel great distances just for a fleeting glimpse of this celestial ballet. Yet, standing beneath the shimmering curtains of green, pink, and violet, one begins to sense that the story of the aurora is not merely one of science or history. It is a story of connection, a reminder of our place in the universe, and of the beauty that exists in moments both vast and ephemeral. The aurora teaches us patience. Nights spent waiting in frozen wildernesses, enduring the sharp bite of Arctic winds, often yield no spectacle. Yet those who persevere find that the lights are not merely a reward for endurance, they are a mirror of life itself. Fleeting, unpredictable, and extraordinary, they remind us that the most profound experiences often cannot be commanded. They arrive on their own terms, and in their presence, humans are reminded of humility and wonder. Many travelers recount that, in the quiet hours under the aurora, the mind becomes still, the heart opens, and the world feels simultaneously immense and intimate. It is a rare form of beauty that transcends culture, language, and background, touching something deeply human. Explorers and scientists continue to advance our understanding of the aurora. Satellites such as NASA's Themis mission and the European Space Agency's Cluster project have allowed researchers to track solar storms and geomagnetic activity with unprecedented detail. By analyzing these interactions, scientists gain insights not only into Earth, magnetosphere, but also into the broader dynamics of our solar system. The aurora serves as a natural laboratory, showing how magnetic fields and charged particles interact, a cosmic performance of energy, physics, and motion. Each display recorded is a story of invisible forces made visible, of a universe in constant communication with our planet. Yet science alone cannot capture the full human experience of the northern lights. Stories abound of moments of transformation beneath their glow. Families gather on frozen lakes, sharing blankets and stories, children pointing skyward with eyes wide in wonder. Solo travelers speak of nights when the aurora feels like a companion, guiding them across silent tundras, through forests lit by snow, and over ice fields that reflect the dancing light. Photographers describe a mix of technical challenge and artistic joy, freezing moments that can never fully replicate the scale, motion, and subtle brilliance of the live performance above. And indigenous elders continue to pass on their teachings, showing respect for the lights, sharing wisdom on how to read the sky, and reminding us that observation is as much about reverence as it is about curiosity. The Northern Lights also connect us to history. Viking sagas describe the lights as glimmers of the Valkyries riding across the sky, while medieval European chronicles link them to portents of war or divine intervention. Explorers who charted Arctic seas relied on auroral observations as part of their navigational knowledge. Each era interpreted the lights in ways that reflected its culture, technology, and worldview. Today, we add another layer, scientific understanding, yet the awe remains unchanged. In every age, the aurora has inspired stories, guided journeys, and deepened human imagination. As the aurora dances, it also reminds us of fragility. Climate change, shifting geomagnetic patterns, and human activity all have subtle impacts on the systems that produce these lights. Protecting the natural world, preserving the Arctic landscapes, and maintaining a balance between observation and respect become part of the modern story. In witnessing the Northern Lights, we see both the power of nature and our responsibility toward it, a gentle lesson in stewardship delivered through sheer beauty. There is also a universal quality to the experience. Though the aurora occurs thousands of miles from most human settlements, it touches those who seek it. From the remote villages of Lapland to the frozen wilderness of Alaska, the response is always the same: quiet awe, reflective silence, and an understanding that the lights are a gift, not a possession. They are a phenomenon that cannot be controlled, scheduled, or owned. They exist beyond human desire, a reminder that the world is far larger, more intricate, and more magical than we often realize. As the night deepens, the aurora reaches its climax, ribbons of green, violet, and occasionally red stretching across the sky in impossible patterns, each pulse of light a testament to cosmic forces and earthly observation alike. In this moment, the story converges. The science, the history, the human experience, the myths, and the adventure all coalesce into a singular, luminous truth. The Northern Lights are at once a phenomenon to be studied, a spectacle to be witnessed, and a symbol of humanity's ongoing dialogue with the universe. And then, as dawn approaches, the lights slowly fade, withdrawing into the polar sky as if they were never there at all. But their presence leaves a lasting impression, memories etched into the minds of those fortunate enough to witness them, insights gained by those who study them, and inspiration carried forward by every storyteller who has tried, and inevitably failed, to capture their essence. In the quiet aftermath, one realizes that the Northern Lights are more than a visual display. They are a reminder that the universe is alive, dynamic, and full of wonder, waiting for those who look up with open eyes and open hearts. The journey beneath the Northern Lights concludes not with finality but with reflection. We leave the frozen tundras, the fjords, and the icy landscapes with an understanding that the aurora is a bridge between Earth and cosmos, past and present, science and myth, human curiosity and natural wonder. It is a phenomenon that challenges us to think, to feel, to seek, and to marvel. And in every flicker, every ribbon of light, we are reminded of the extraordinary beauty that exists in our world, the power of observation, and the enduring human capacity for awe. Tonight, the sky will darken elsewhere. The aurora will shimmer in distant lands unseen by most, yet its story continues, captured in the hearts of those who have watched, studied, or simply paused to appreciate its fleeting glory. The Northern Lights are a cosmic conversation, a dance of energy, light, and time. They are science and poetry intertwined, a reminder that some of the universe's most profound truths are revealed not in loud declarations, but in quiet, glowing whispers across the night sky. As our journey ends, we carry forward the memory of that frozen night, the sight of the sky alive with light, and the knowledge that some experiences transcend explanation. The northern lights are a reminder of our place in the cosmos, of the beauty and complexity of nature, and of the enduring power of wonder. And perhaps most importantly, they remind us that there are still mysteries to explore, still lights to chase, and still stories to be told.